When we were younger, fiber was rarely something we talked about. Maybe a passing mention in a cereal commercial, or something your grandmother swore by to stay regular. But as we get older, something shifts. Digestion becomes slower. Our energy dips more easily, and suddenly what we eat and how it moves through us really matters. That's where fiber comes in. Not as a medical lecture or a strict diet plan, but as a quiet daily helper. One that keeps you feeling lighter, more regular, and surprisingly, more alive. It's not flashy. You don't feel it working. But the benefits show up in how you move, sleep, and feel, day after day. So today, let's talk about how this simple nutrient can make a big difference, especially if you're over 60. Why this matters? Fiber is about more than digestion. Many people still think of fiber as something that only helps you go. And cuido, but that's just one part of the story. And honestly, it's the least exciting part. Because after 60, fiber becomes so much more than a bathroom helper. It becomes a defender of your heart, a stabilizer of your blood sugar, a supporter of brain clarity, and even a protector of your immune system. It helps you feel full longer, manage your weight without trying so hard, and improve your gut health, which, as science now shows, connects to almost every part of your well-being. The best part? You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight. You just need to make small, smart additions. A scoop of oats here, a handful of beans there, a little more fruit, a little less white bread. In this video, we'll explore 6 powerful, and often surprising, reasons seniors should eat more fiber. Not to follow a rule, but to feel stronger, sharper, and more in control of your body. Starting today. 1. Promotes smooth digestion. Say goodbye to senior constipation. Let's be real for a moment. No one likes talking about constipation. But if you're over 60, chances are it's something you've felt, and maybe more often than you'd like to admit. For Harold, 69, from Ohio, it became a weekly frustration. Some weeks I'd go 3, even 4 days without a bowel movement, he shared. It just made me feel heavy, uncomfortable, and honestly kind of irritated all the time. He tried over-the-counter remedies, but they only worked for a day or 2. Then the cycle would start again. What finally made the difference? Fiber. Not from a supplement or a powdered drink, but from real food. Oatmeal in the morning, an apple in the afternoon, and chia seeds stirred into yogurt or water. Within a couple of weeks, Harold noticed a shift. I feel lighter, more regular, and I didn't expect this, just happier. It's like my whole body works better now. That's the hidden power of fiber. It's not dramatic, but it's deeply effective. As we age, our digestive system slows down. The muscles in our gut don't contract as efficiently, and many of us become less active, both of which can lead to slower digestion and uncomfortable backups. Fiber helps restore that rhythm. It does 2 key things. First, it adds bulk to your stool, which gives your intestines something to push through. Second, it softens the stool by holding onto water, making everything move more smoothly, without strain. And when digestion moves the way it should, everything else feels easier too. From how you sleep, to how you eat, to how you handle the day's little stresses. So, how can you add more fiber to your meals in a way that feels easy, and even enjoyable? Start with what you already like. If you enjoy toast in the morning, switch to whole grain or seeded bread. If you like something warm, try a bowl of steel-cut oats topped with banana slices or a spoonful of flaxseed. For lunch or dinner, leafy greens like spinach or kale are easy to saute or toss into soup. Sweet potatoes make a delicious, fiber-rich alternative to white potatoes. And fruits with the skin on, like pears, apples, or berries, are some of nature's tastiest tools for smoother digestion. One gentle reminder: if your body isn't used to high-fiber foods, add them gradually, and drink plenty of water. Fiber works best when it has hydration to support it. Harold says he now looks forward to his oatmeal ritual. It's not fancy, but it keeps me regular. And honestly, I just feel better in my skin. So if you've been feeling sluggish, heavy, or stuck in a cycle of bloating and discomfort, take a look at your plate. A few simple shifts might be all it takes to get things moving again, gently, naturally, and consistently. Because digestion shouldn't be something you suffer through. It should be something that supports you, quietly, every day, from the inside out. 2. Helps control blood sugar, especially for those at risk for diabetes. For many people over 60, a routine checkup can turn into a wake-up call. That was the case for Gloria, 65 from Arizona. She'd been feeling a little more tired after meals, and her energy seemed to crash every afternoon. When she got her blood work back, her doctor had one word: pre-diabetic. "I was scared," Gloria admitted. "Diabetes runs in my family, and I didn't want to live on medication if I could help it." Her doctor didn't push pills right away. Instead, they started with food, specifically fiber. Gloria began adding more fiber-rich foods to her meals: avocado in her salads, flax seeds in her smoothies, oatmeal in the mornings. 3 months later, her blood sugar had stabilized, and even more importantly, she felt like she had control again over her plate, her body, and her future. Here's what's happening inside the body when fiber steps in. When you eat a typical meal, especially one with carbs, your blood sugar naturally rises. For younger people, the body handles this quickly. But as we age, that process becomes less efficient. This is where soluble fiber becomes your ally. Soluble fiber acts like a sponge. It slows down the digestion of carbohydrates and the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, which helps prevent those dangerous spikes and the crashes that often follow. It's especially helpful for people with insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, or anyone trying to avoid long-term blood sugar issues. The more fiber you get, the more even and steady your energy can feel throughout the day. You don't have to follow a special diet or give up everything you love. Just make thoughtful, simple additions. For example, swap white rice for cooked lentils, or black beans in a side dish. Add carrots or steamed broccoli to your dinner plate. Cooked vegetables are easier to digest and still fiber-rich. Choose a crisp apple with the skin on for an afternoon snack. Stir a spoonful of ground flaxseed into your yogurt or cereal. Start your morning with a warm bowl of oats, topped with cinnamon or berries for extra antioxidants. And if you're already living with type 2 diabetes, adding more fiber can help improve your A1C levels over time, making it easier to manage your condition with less medication. Gloria says the changes didn't feel restrictive. They felt nourishing. "I didn't go on a diet. I just gave my body better tools to do what it's meant to do. And I actually look forward to my meals now." That's the beauty of fiber. It doesn't ask you to eat less. It simply helps you eat smarter. So if your doctor has warned you about blood sugar, or if you just want to protect your long-term health, consider this. You don't need a drastic change. You just need a little more soluble support at every meal. Because balance isn't just about sugar levels. It's about how you feel, how you move, and how empowered you are to care for yourself every single day. 3. Lowers cholesterol. Keeps your heart healthy. Heart health becomes a bigger conversation after 60. Not just because of age, but because your body's ability to process fat, sugar, and stress changes. And for Frank, 72 from New York, that conversation started with a routine lab test. His doctor looked at the numbers and shook his head. "Your LDL cholesterol is too high," he said. "We need to act before it becomes a problem." Frank didn't want to jump straight to medication. So he asked, "What can I do at home?" The answer: fiber, especially the kind that lowers cholesterol naturally. Frank started making small changes. He swapped his white toast for a bowl of warm oats in the morning, topped with a sliced banana. He added barley to soups, snacked on apples with the skin on, and explored dishes made with eggplant and soy. At his next checkup, his LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, had dropped. "It wasn't a miracle," he said, "but it was movement." And that gave me confidence. So how does fiber actually help your heart? The key lies in a specific kind of soluble fiber, like beta-glucan, which is found in oats and barley. When you eat these foods, the fiber forms a gel-like substance in your gut. That gel binds to cholesterol particles and carries them out of your body before they can be absorbed into your bloodstream. Over time, this gentle daily process helps reduce your total cholesterol, especially the LDL type that clogs arteries and increases the risk of heart disease or stroke. What's powerful about fiber is that it doesn't just treat your heart. it supports it, quietly and steadily, every single day. If you're looking to add more heart-friendly fiber to your routine, here are a few simple, enjoyable ways to begin. Start your day with steel-cut or rolled oats, and top them with fiber-rich fruit like banana, berries, or chopped apples. Add barley to soups or stews. It adds thickness and a slightly nutty flavor. Include eggplant and okra in stir-fries or roasted vegetable mixes. Snack on soy nuts, or include tofu in place of meat a few times a week. Choose fruits with skin intact, like pears, plums, or apples, for maximum fiber benefit. Frank didn't make extreme changes. He didn't cut out entire food groups. He simply made his meals a little more thoughtful, a little more fiber-rich, and his heart thanked him for it. "It's not about chasing perfect numbers," he said. "It's about feeling like you're doing something good for yourself. One bowl of oatmeal at a time." So if your cholesterol has crept up, or if you're looking to protect your heart as you age, consider this. Fiber may not be flashy, but it's one of the most natural, powerful allies your heart has. And sometimes, the best way to care for your heart isn't in a pill. It's in your plate. 4. Supports gentle weight loss. Lose fat, not strength. After retirement, it's common for the scale to start creeping up, even when your eating habits haven't changed all that much. Less movement, more time at home, and, let's be honest, a little more snacking in front of the TV. That's exactly what happened to Linda, 66 from Texas. "I wasn't overeating, but my body just didn't seem to burn it off like it used to," she said. Within a year of retiring, Linda had gained close to 15 pounds. And while the number on the scale concerned her, what bothered her more was the way she felt. Sluggish, bloated, and just not herself. Her doctor didn't recommend a strict diet. Instead, they talked about fiber. So Linda made a few small changes. She swapped white rice for brown rice, added big, colorful salads to her lunches, and started snacking on a small handful of almonds instead of cookies or crackers. The result? She lost 7 pounds in 2 months. And perhaps more importantly, she felt stronger and more in control. "I wasn't hungry, I wasn't dieting. I was just fuller, longer." That's the quiet beauty of fiber. Unlike low-calorie fads that leave you feeling empty, fiber does the opposite. It fills you up, slows digestion, and keeps you satisfied for longer. That means you naturally eat less, without having to count every bite or go to bed feeling deprived. And for seniors, that matters even more. Because weight loss after 60 isn't just about slimming down. It's about preserving strength, energy, and independence. Crash diets can cause muscle loss, fatigue, and nutritional gaps. But fiber helps you lose fat, not function. Here's why. Fiber slows the release of sugar into the bloodstream, which helps regulate hunger hormones. It also keeps your digestive system moving, reduces belly bloat, and supports a healthy metabolism. All key pieces of the puzzle when it comes to gentle, sustainable weight loss. If you're thinking about adding more fiber-rich foods to support a healthier weight, consider a few of these simple shifts. Choose whole grains like quinoa, barley, brown rice, or whole wheat pasta over their white, refined versions. Load your plate with vegetables at every meal. Roasted carrots, leafy greens, broccoli, or squash. Snack on a small handful of almonds, pistachios, or walnuts instead of chips or crackers. Add legumes like lentils, chickpeas, or black beans to soups, stews, and salads. Try eating a fiber-rich fruit with the skin on, like an apple or pear, between meals. Linda says the best part wasn't just the weight she lost. It was the way she gained back her confidence. "I finally felt like I was in charge of my body again, and I didn't have to be miserable to get there." So if you've been struggling with your weight after 60, forget the diets that promise fast results. Instead, reach for foods that nourish, satisfy, and support you. Slowly, gently, and sustainably. Because this stage of life isn't about shrinking. It's about feeling strong, light, and well in your own skin. 5. Boosts gut health and immunity. Your good bacteria. Need it for many older adults, digestive issues just seem to become part of daily life. Gas, bloating, unpredictable bathroom habits, and sometimes that vague feeling of being off without knowing why. That's what Barbara, 70 from Florida, was dealing with. She had no major health problems, but she constantly felt sluggish. Her digestion was unpredictable, and her energy dipped more often than she liked. So she sat down with a nutritionist, hoping for a simple reset. The advice surprised her. It wasn't a list of things to cut out, Barbara recalled. It was about what to add in. Foods that would feed my gut, not fight it. They focused on fiber-rich, prebiotic foods, things like garlic, bananas, and onions. Not exotic superfoods, just everyday ingredients that nourish the good bacteria in the gut. Within weeks, Barbara felt the difference. Her digestion smoothed out. Her belly felt calmer, and she had more energy. Not the jittery kind, but steady, grounded energy that carried her through the day. So what was really happening inside her body? Turns out, your gut is home to trillions of bacteria, both good and bad. When the balance shifts toward the good, everything works better. Digestion, metabolism, mood, and even your immune system. And what do those good bacteria need to thrive? Fiber. More specifically, they need prebiotic fiber, the type that acts as food for healthy microbes. When you feed your gut the right fiber, you're not just helping yourself go more regularly, you're nurturing an ecosystem inside your body that protects you from illness, inflammation, and fatigue. Studies now show that a healthy gut helps regulate immune response, reduce chronic inflammation, improve mental clarity and mood, support better absorption of nutrients. In short, your gut health is deeply connected to your overall health, and fiber is the key to keeping it in balance. The good news is, you don't need fancy supplements or expensive powders. You just need to eat more of the foods your gut bacteria love. Here are a few gentle, delicious places to start. Bananas, especially slightly green ones, are a great snack or breakfast base. Add garlic and onions to soups, stir-fries, or roasted vegetables. Try asparagus or artichokes, steamed, grilled, or blended into dips. Mix in whole grains, beans, and lentils to give your gut more variety and nourishment. Barbara now calls her fiber-rich meals gut-friendly comfort food. It's not about eating perfectly, she says. It's about giving my body what it actually needs, not just what I crave. So if you've been dealing with nagging digestive issues, low energy, or frequent colds, consider this. Your gut might not be asking for medicine. It might just be asking for fiber. Because when your gut is well fed, your whole body benefits. And a stronger immune system, smoother digestion, and brighter energy may be just a few meals away. 6. May help protect your brain. Gut health supports. Mental clarity. We often think of fiber as something that helps our stomach, or maybe our heart. But what if it also helped your mind stay sharp? More and more research is pointing to a surprising connection, the link between your gut and your brain. Raymond, 74, from California, experienced this firsthand. His daughter had started helping him with errands after he forgot a couple of appointments. Nothing serious, just small signs that his memory was a little off. Then Raymond made a few changes to his diet. He added more fiber, colorful vegetables, fresh berries, and switched to whole grains like brown rice and oats. He didn't expect much. But within a few weeks, his daughter noticed something subtle but encouraging. Dad remembers things better now. He's more engaged in conversations and just a little sharper. It might seem like a coincidence, but science says otherwise. The gut and brain are in constant communication through something called the gut-brain axis. Your gut is lined with nerves and chemical messengers that send signals to the brain, influencing not just digestion, but mood, memory, focus, and even decision-making. When your gut is inflamed or unbalanced, it can impact your brain in ways you may not realize. Brain fog, low mood, forgetfulness, or that feeling of just not being all there. That's where fiber comes in. Fiber helps maintain a healthy balance of bacteria in your gut. It reduces inflammation and supports a more stable internal environment. In turn, that calmer, more balanced gut sends healthier signals to your brain, supporting mental clarity and emotional well-being. It's not magic. It's just a long overlooked truth. When you care for your gut, your mind benefits too. The most helpful approach: variety. Different types of fiber from different foods feed different beneficial bacteria, which is why many experts suggest eating the rainbow. That doesn't mean buying fancy superfoods, it just means choosing berries in the morning for antioxidants and fiber, dark leafy greens like kale or spinach in a salad or stir fry, orange and red vegetables like carrots, bell peppers, and sweet potatoes, beans and legumes, which are rich in prebiotic fiber, and whole grains like quinoa, barley, or brown rice to round out your meals. Raymond didn't overhaul his life. He just became more intentional, adding color, texture, and fiber to every plate. And the result? "I feel more clear-headed," he said, "like the fog's lifting." So if you've been feeling mentally sluggish, or you're concerned about memory as you age, think beyond brain games or crossword puzzles. Think about your gut, because supporting your digestion isn't just good for your body. It may be one of the gentlest, most natural ways to protect your mind too. We don't give fiber nearly enough credit. We talk about getting enough protein, taking the right supplements, drinking more water. But fiber, it's often an afterthought. Something that only matters when digestion gets difficult. But now you know better. Fiber doesn't just keep things moving. It supports your heart, blood sugar, weight, immunity, even your mind. It works quietly in the background, helping your body stay balanced, strong, and clear. And the best part, you don't have to make huge changes. You don't need to follow a special diet or memorize complicated charts. Just add one small thing to your plate, starting tomorrow. A handful of spinach with dinner, a slice of whole grain toast in the morning, a banana when you need a snack. Simple choices that add up over time. Because this stage of life isn't about restriction, it's about nourishing yourself better. So, if you've learned something helpful today, take a moment to act on it. Try a new fiber-rich food this week. See how it makes you feel, lighter, calmer, more in control of your health. And if you already have a favorite source of fiber, maybe oats, berries, lentils, or something your grandmother used to swear by, share it in the comments. Let's inspire each other to eat smarter, feel stronger, and live well from the inside out. Your body will thank you for it, quietly but powerfully.